So every semester I find myself required to reveal some part of me, secret maybe, for a presentation or a reflective paper that every teacher just has to assign. And I find myself talking to a classroom full of people, just like you, who couldn't care less what I have to say or anything about me, and yet I have to do it because it's an assignment. Today, I'm shaking because right now I'm going to reveal to you that I am gay, and yet I'm the same person I was before I revealed that to you. However, if I were to admit that in Russia, I could be arrested on the spot. I walk down the street every day, walk through the halls, walk home, worrying that someone's going to know that I'm gay just by looking at me. And no, that can't get me arrested in this country, but like everybody else, you have a fear of being judged. My voice is shaking because I don't want to be judged based on that. Yet in Russia, even if they're perceived as gay, they could be arrested, detained, fined outrageous amounts. You could be targeted for just being you. Maybe you'd be targeted for wearing flip-flops, or you'd be targeted for having brown hair. You could be targeted, and there would be nothing anyone could do to stop it because it's law. Attention must be given to the recently passed anti-gay laws in Russia by the international community before consequences become too extreme to handle. First, we will discuss what the law entails and the legal trials that we have seen thus far. Then we will discuss the de facto or the non-legal consequences of said law. Before talking about why it's such a relevant topic, let's make sure we have the basic understanding of the law and what it means for Russian citizens.
So the most important thing that we need to understand is the laws and the charges that come along with getting arrested. So the law states it is a crime to propagandize untraditional sexual relationships. The propaganda includes information given to minors or promoting the attractiveness of non-traditional relationships. It also includes equating non-traditional sexual relationships. The law forbids the spread of information about the homosexual relationships. So let's say you get arrested. You are going to be given a hefty fine. In US dollars, it's about 120 to 150 for individuals, 24,000 to 30,000 for groups or companies. And if you're foreign and you go to Russia and you're said to be gay, you can be deported, but before you're deported, you're going to be fined $1,500 to $3,100, and also a possible 15-day jail sentence. So one of the first groups to violate this was a group of Dutch filmmakers, and they asked a teenager to be in their film. They were arrested and they were taken in for questioning, and a bunch of locals said that the teenager was already proclaimed to be gay, and so the court wouldn't take their case, but they missed their flight and they were banned from Russia for 3 years. So we should really give this more attention because the law has not only brought with it legal repercussions, but de facto repercussions as well. Now that we have a basic understanding of what the law legally means, Rob will discuss the non-legal consequences being faced by Russian citizens.
All right, so we used the term de facto earlier, and essentially what that means is it's anything that is not enforced by the law. So there are several things that are happening or that may happen in the future in Russia because of these laws that have these sort of side effects that aren't really enforced by the law itself. So over the summer, Putin passed 2 laws that banned homosexual propaganda and also made it illegal for police to arrest tourists or foreigners that are suspected of being homosexual. So essentially, that sort of gives people the right in its own sort of way to start calling out people I mean, if you look at me, I dress funny, you know, compared to everybody else. So that would probably give them reason to say, okay, this guy might be homosexual, and have me arrested for no reason, and then, as she said, possibly detained or deported. Also, there are these anti-gay vigilante groups which have been springing up in Russia. They just sort of organize themselves, and I guess over social networking and social media, they sort of have this reign of terror where they're, you know, just violently beating anyone that they really want to with little enforcement by the police. And they post it online, I guess, sort of as a way to just inspire fear in the public, just to make sure, I guess, in their own sort of way to keep everything in order. But now that we've kind of gone over what happens without the law, we will conclude.
In conclusion, we have discussed the legal consequences of Russia's anti-gay law, such as the substantial fines and detainment. Then we discussed the unfortunate and horrifying crimes that have occurred as a result of the law. Although Russia seems like a distant place, maybe even too distant for you to consider their laws your problem, we have to understand that these are people, just like you or me, gay or not. These are people who have had their lives altered because of a law. But allow me to put that in perspective for you. In America, a little more than 3 months ago, we had Philadelphia's Gay Pride Parade, which is an annual festival in which people can march down the street and be proud of who they are, and march with their lover, or even if they support just their friends who are gay, there are no consequences. Cops are even there participating. In Russia, a little more than 3 months ago, a 23-year-old man was raped and tortured to death because he was gay. I don't know if that put it into perspective for you, or if you can overlook that fact, but as a human being to another human being, I don't think I can. Thank you.
Questions?
I haven't read too much about it, but I've heard that they're debating how they're going to deal with the laws and everything for the Olympics being there. Have you heard anything about what they're going to do with the laws and the people coming into the Olympics?
They're definitely considering keeping the laws for foreigners. There's been a lot of arguments back and forth with it on whether or not they're going to keep it. Most people want to, and then there are also people who are opposing it. So we're not really too sure about what's going to happen with that right now.
Well, can I just make a comment instead of ask a question? Okay, I was in Russia in the summer of 2012, and it was like a tourist thing, of course. And in actually our group of tourists, there was a gay couple from Australia, and it's just like shocking me to think that they could get into like so much of an issue there now. In one of the towns, there's like a bridge where people put like the locks on for your lovers, yeah, and there was like an overlook place, and like you would kiss your lover in there, and like they did that, and so it's just amazing to think that like something like that would get them into so much trouble now. So I just wanted to share that.
Well, and to that point, I guess my question is how much, I mean, obviously incidents are always going to come up, and in fact, in the United States, people are still brutally attacked and raped and killed and things for the same kinds of things, even though we can go to a city that can sanction a gay pride parade. We know that there's still a lot of harm that's done. So I guess my question is, how much is it actually done? I mean, how much harm is there? I mean, are they really enforcing the law? How many people are actually getting hurt? And I'm not trying to deny that just one person getting hurt isn't important, but how much of a problem is it there?
Well, I don't have, it's not a large number, but I read of 3 confirmed deaths as a result of a gay pride parade that was starting. Obviously, it's illegal there to promote yourself as gay or try to organize anything that involves you telling people that you're gay. 3 people were killed. There have been numerous, I can't give you an exact number, but there have been numerous accounts of people just being brutalized on film. There are pictures, videos of actual policemen brutalizing people or standing by while crowds of people are attacked. I can't give you a statistic, I apologize, but I know it's really prevalent and it's becoming even.
And is it becoming more prevalent or more harmful, or is the attention starting to kind of have some impact on how much harm is being done? In other words, because has become kind of an international, especially because of the Olympics,
Yes.
it's become an international kind of concern now. So is that putting pressure on the government to be a little bit more concerned about the laws, or do you still see it kind of impacting?
I would say it's getting worse, and I don't think that the government really cares for it to die down because of the Olympics. Like she said, just in 2012, did you say it was? I mean, Russia has always been more of a homophobic country, but just in 2012, there was an Australian couple and they kissed on the bridge and it was fine. But a few months ago, this law's been passed. It's 2013. You would think that gay marriage is spreading across our nation, that it would be getting better, but you just cross.
And what instigated I'm assuming this is a newer law that was passed?
Well, it's been a series of laws, but the most recent one was passed in June 2013.
And what instigated a more stringent kind of law? Did anything happen historically? Was there something that kind of motivated this becoming more, again, what do I want to say, more open, if I can say that, about how non-open they are?
I think it's with the Olympics and how more foreigners are going to come to their country and watch the Olympics, that they want to make it known that if you come and you promote yourself, that you're going to be fined and possibly put in jail and deported from the country itself.
So, am I hearing you correctly? Then you're saying that there is a concern that people may use the Olympics to kind of go against the Russian kind of culture or social kinds of norms?
They may or they may not. It all depends on how they feel towards the law and how they feel that they should take it on.
Other questions? Any quick comments? Okay, what was the time?
Like 8 minutes?
Yeah.